Okay, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I just realized I have calamine all over my feet. I did yoga, um, I think like in an area I just didn't realize there was like some poison ivy or something. So now I have calamine on the feet. But I hope that you're doing good this morning. We're just gonna keep with small spaces and having space in these small spaces. And then we're also going to do like no inversions. So in asana and yoga, there can be lots of things outside of headstands that are inversions. So a forward fold can be considered an inversion, downward dog inversion, tripod, handstand, headstand inversions, uh, anything legs up the wall or legs waterfall or legs up the invisible wall if you're outside, staff pose inversions, anything where the head is kind of below the waist is going to be your inversion. And so we're taking a step back even from any of that, and we're going to focus on being able to have space within like a small space. Now I'm outside, but even with that, sometimes if you're in a class or if you're somewhere that's very congested, then you feel like you don't have a lot of room to be, but you can still have your space and hold down your space. That is kind of your aura, your bubble, and what makes you feel good, even in places that are more congested. And or it's also nice for if you are in maybe a smaller apartment or you're in a bedroom or something and you just don't have a lot of room, or you have a space that has a lot of furniture, you can still find ways to move within that space, just being aware of what's around you, and then also have that space to breathe. So with that, we're going to kind of keep to that. We're going to stay low. We're going to do some nice arm stretches and expansions, opening up our heart. So as usual, you can go ahead and get started, adapt as you so choose. But I'm going to start in Sukhasana, easy seated pose. So it's totally up to you how you choose to begin. And then just welcome yourself to that space that you find yourself. So if you feel good, you can close your eyes. You want to maybe find some length in the spine, relax the chin. And in relaxing the chin, we're aligning those airways, our prana, our breath, our energy source can, just flow with more ease in and out of the body. And the hands can just be in your lap or like me, over the knees. And just take like a few breaths here. So just be mindful of your body as you're breathing. Maybe as you find your breath, you start to come into more awareness and your breath slows down a little bit. That's fine too. And just kind of be. I love to close my eyes when I'm taking that moment to connect with breath. It also then allows me to fine tune into my body. So just have a few moments of silence here. So you can do that. Take another couple breaths, inhaling and exhaling, noticing where you feel your breath in your body, noticing how you allow the new fresh energy and oxygen to enter the body and then to release itself. And then from there, you'll go ahead, you'll take one hand to side, you're going to extend and lengthen the other arm out. Inhale and exhale into a side stretch. Just nice and light. Doesn't have to be anything heavy yet. The arm that's connected to the ground can be nice and soft in the elbow. You'll release, reset, take a breath. Then once again, same side, inhale, exhale. You'll go ahead, you'll release that side. We'll go over to the opposite side. Inhale and exhale your opposite arm up and over. And release. And then you're going to do that one more time. Same side. Inhale and exhale up and over. And release. We're going to focus on the arms in this space. So next you're just going to clasp the hands out in front of you. The palms will stay facing in towards you and just find this nice roundness outside of you, this expansion. In Tai Chi warm-ups, we always say, like we're holding this invisible beach ball in front of us. So you'll just allow this space to be. Relax the shoulders down. Then when you're ready, you'll continue breathing, inhaling, exhaling. You're going to take the hands above and overhead. You're going to grow length in that spine. Now, if you feel good here, you could then reverse the palms to face out. And then face them back in. The arms can come back down. Nice. And release. Shake it out. Maybe find some wrist circles, some finger wiggles there. And then we're going to do that again. You're going to clasp your hands. You're going to find that invisible ball out in front of you. Relax the shoulders down. Grow tall in your seat. So before we take the arms up this time, if you choose, you can flip the palms out. Deeper stretch through the hands. And then you're going to raise them up. Beautiful. Good job. Out in the world. Great job. Awesome. And then when you're ready, take it down. Awesome. Relax, release. Go ahead and clasp them in the back, behind the tail. Arms will pull away. Your heart and chest will lift. Your head will lift for a nice stretch here. And relax, release. The arms can come out in front. We're going to go ahead and find some seated circles here. So as I mentioned, so these flows from what I've described over in other videos, it's just a nice, simple flow, nothing too wild. It's just a way to like take some time, make some time for yourself. Over the last few months, I've stepped away from the practice in new ways and quite a bit. And so it's just taking that time to, it doesn't have to be always magical. Sometimes I may not always even feel like it, but it is so important to like have that time and space for myself and take your center circle the opposite direction and just kind of being within that space. So whether you're just like waking up and you're shaking it out, you're just taking a couple stretches in the day, it matters. It's good for your body. It's good for you. It's good for your soul. And it just feels really nice. So take a couple more center circles, taking up as much space as you choose. This is one that can be really nice when you're in a congested space and you feel like there's always people. You just get like the space within your body. You start to realize that you still do have space even in very full or small spaces. And then come back and we're going to take it back to front with some seated cats and cows. So if your legs are getting a little jittery, notice which foot you have underneath if you're in Sukhasana, which one's on top, and just go ahead and switch them. And then you'll go into your seated cats and cows. So whenever you're ready, your cats and cows, hands can be where they support you. You'll inhale, cow, you're just lifting that chest, lifting that heart. Once again, maybe the head tilts towards whatever is above you, ceiling or sky. And then you're going to exhale, you're going to round the back. And then just continue with that, inhaling and exhaling, moving through. Give can be so nice. You can kind of sometimes feel some kinks that are maybe in the body in the back here. So it'd be nice just to bring awareness to that. Maybe find yourself moving through one more set. I like to move through mine a little bit slow so I can really feel the body. Awesome. And then we're just going to go ahead. We're going to take one arm across the chest. And go ahead and switch sides, open up, and then take your opposite arm across the chest. And go ahead and open up. This time we're going to go back to that first arm. It's going to float up. And then you're going to bend the elbow, drop that arm behind the head. The other arm is going to go maybe to support over the elbow. And then switch sides, of course. Awesome. So we're going to play with the arms and with that motion, with the post day. That's going to be pretty much the big thing we do today. So for me, it's nicer to have my legs kind of closer into body to have a little bit more space, especially since we didn't really focus on the lower body too much. So it might be a little tight. But if you want to change up the legs for this next pose, you do have that option. You can keep them in Sukhasana. You can move into a half lotus or full lotus. You could also just do what some call log pose. So log pose, you just end up having foot, knee over on top of one leg, and then we're going to do the arms, and then when you switch, you can just switch the legs, which can actually, if they're feeling tight, sometimes too can feel really good. I've been running a lot lately, so like this feels amazing, although I can tell, how my body is different compared to when I'm not running. So if you don't want to focus on that, that's all right. If you do, just remember that you'll want to switch which leg is on top when you switch arms. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and with the arms, you have some different options. So you can go back to that first arm and you can raise it up, and then you can bend the elbow down and the hand will come down the back, which we'll see if I go sideways, if you can see that. So you can see my hand here, that arm goes down the back, and then the opposite arm can just stay low. It's totally up to you, it doesn't have to. Or that bottom arm can reach for the top. They can even clasp, and then you can just hold here. So that's going to be like the main pose today. So you have those options. If not, having space between the two is perfectly fine. So I'll turn around so that you can see again. So we have the top arm, and it can be here. It can just go down the back. It can be there, and then the bottom arm down below across the back. Or that bottom arm can go ahead and reach for the top, and then you still want to adjust your head. You still want to be able to feel as if you can lift through your chest, your heart. So that's how that would go. And then you can try that out on one side, and then when you're ready to let go, go ahead and let go. And then we're going to do the opposite side. So then you'll go ahead and you'll slowly release, maybe shake out the arms if you need, take a little stretch if you need. This is a great heart opener. We're staying low with nice grounding, taking it slow. If you're into the astrology, we had like our full moons, our Mercury grades, so many planets are doing so many things. So it's nice to just like ground in that and sit in that. But then you'll take your opposite arm. You want to do the same. Either you can just take it behind the back, then the elbow, call it a day. You can even use that other arm if you prefer. You want a little bit deeper stretch there to open up. You could go ahead and do that, or you could have them meet in the middle behind. And then once again, just focus on lifting, breathing, and just being. You still want there to feel this lightness, this stability. You don't want to feel like you're kind of forward folding. into that. You don't want to feel that the arm is heavy. You still want to have this nice openness there through the heart and through the chest. All right. And then you'll release. That is definitely one of my favorite poses that my body asks of me quite a bit. So it's nice to share. And then we will next time work on incorporating the lower body into that. Today we're just kind of keeping it, well, all of them, we're just kind of keeping it, like I said, nice and relaxed and chill and just kind of working and feeling our body, taking steps back from a lot of the uh, complexities. There are so many complexities in life, so it can be nice to just kind of wallow out in some simplicity sometimes and find ourselves again, reconnect to ourselves and our breath during those simplistic moments. And so, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time. And I'm like ready to go back to like bed and just lounge with the tea. So enjoy your day. I hope that you possibly, if you're able to do the same, you do. And I'll see you next time.